Did you know that nearly 48 million Americans fall ill each year due to foodborne illnesses, with over 3,000 fatalities, many of whom are older adults? According to the CDC, seniors face considerably heightened risks since their immune systems are no longer as robust as they once were. Alarmingly, numerous such illnesses originate within the refrigerator, the very place intended to keep food safe. Recent research has revealed that storing certain foods incorrectly in the fridge can elevate your risk of food poisoning, damage nutritional content, and even trigger hazardous chemical alterations, all of which pose increased dangers for older adults. Most individuals are unaware of these risks. If you have been placing certain fruits, vegetables, or staple foods in the fridge without a second thought, you may unwittingly be jeopardizing your health. In fact, the most problematic item on this list is more harmful than many realize, as it not only loses nutritional value, but may also develop toxic compounds when refrigerated. I encourage you to read through to the end, as the knowledge you gain today could profoundly protect your health or even be life-saving. Let us proceed. 3 foods you should never refrigerate. 1. Peanut butter. For many seniors, peanut butter is not merely a snack, but a source of comfort, a familiar spread from their youth, now providing a convenient supply of protein and healthy fats. What many do not realize, however, is that storing peanut butter in the refrigerator, particularly for older adults, is an error that comes with hidden costs. Refrigerating peanut induces induces physical changes. The oils solidify, the texture thickens, and it becomes hard and difficult to spread. For seniors experiencing arthritis, diminished grip strength, or limited hand mobility, this minor inconvenience transforms into a daily difficulty. An easy meal becomes an arduous task. The detrimental effects are not confined to texture. Cold temperatures destabilize the heart-healthy fats in peanut butter, specifically the monounsaturated fats that support healthy cholesterol and vascular function. Frequent cycling in and out of cold environments can cause these fats to oxidize. Oxidation is a serious concern, as it may mean the very product relied upon for heart support could now contribute to inflammation, undermining the organs it is meant to protect. Furthermore, over time, refrigerated peanut butter gradually loses significant nutrients, most notably vitamin E, a potent antioxidant essential for maintaining cognitive function and reducing oxidative stress in aging cells. For older adults striving to protect mental clarity and memory, this loss is far from negligible. It represents a gradual erosion of vital health support. While changes may not be perceptible in taste or appearance, their cumulative effect is substantial. There is also the emotional aspect to consider. For many, food represents more than sustenance. It is a ritual, a source of joy, and a marker of independence. When these rituals are disrupted by unyieldingly hard or bitter spreads, the resulting disappointment can diminish one's quality of life. The solution is straightforward, yet highly beneficial. Peanut butter should be stored in a cool, dry pantry, tightly sealed and kept away from sources of heat and direct sunlight. Under these conditions, it remains creamy, spreadable, and nutritionally sound, a change for which both your hands and your heart will be grateful. Yet, if peanut butter, often deemed harmless, carries such risks, what of other staples? Consider onions, a kitchen essential that can harbor its own dangers when improperly stored. 2. Onions. Onions are unsung heroes in the kitchen. They seldom take center stage, but are foundational to countless comforting meals, especially for seniors who cherish home-cooked food. However, placing onions in the refrigerator causes more than just a deterioration in flavor and texture, potentially endangers health as well. Onions are naturally encased in a protective, papery skin and are suited to dry, well-ventilated storage. The cold, moist environment of a refrigerator upsets this balance. Moisture infiltrates the layers, leading to softening, a musty odor, and susceptibility to mold. This is not just a matter of unappealing texture. For seniors with sensitive digestion or compromised immunity, mold and bacteria thriving in damp conditions can contaminate even cut onions stored in containers, introducing invisible pathogens that the aging body is less apt to resist. Furthermore, refrigeration accelerates the loss of valuable nutrients, especially quercetin, a potent anti-inflammatory component that can alleviate joint pain and protect cardiovascular health. As onions break down in the fridge, their nutritional value is silently diminished, robbing seniors of potential benefits to arthritis and heart conditions. Emotionally, the impact can manifest as a decline in confidence and enjoyment. When onions spoil or taint the refrigerator with persistent odors and their taste becomes sour or flat, the reliability of one's kitchen is undermined. A significant issue when food is as much about memory as it is about medicine. Fortunately, the remedy is simple. Store whole onions in a dark, dry basket that allows for airflow. By respecting their natural storage requirements, onions will retain both flavor and nutritional quality. Yet even onions pale in comparison to another everyday kitchen item, a fruit so common and readily eaten, yet so easily compromised by refrigeration that its very nutritional value quickly vanishes. 3. Bananas. Bananas possess a unique reassurance, soft, sweet, and easy to digest. They are often amongst the first and last fruits consumed in a lifetime, providing energy, potassium, and comfort for older adults. Regrettably, refrigerating bananas, despite good intentions, strips them of precisely those attributes which make them beneficial to an aging body. At first glance, cold storage may appear innocuous, and the only apparent change being a blackened skin. However, this is indicative of cold injury, as bananas are tropical fruits, unsuited to refrigeration. Upon exposure to low temperatures, the ripening enzymes shut down, impeding the natural conversion of starches to sugars. The result is a fruit that appears ripe but is firm and flavorless inside. This alteration not only diminishes enjoyment, but also reduces levels of essential nutrients, particularly dopamine and catechin, antioxidants which combat inflammation and support cognitive health. For seniors, these nutrients are crucial, helping to preserve mental balance and protect against the effects of aging. Moreover, in overripe bananas, refrigeration can lead to moisture accumulation under the skin, resulting in the growth of mold, particularly near the stem, a risk not to be overlooked by those with compromised immune systems. Thus, to fully benefit from bananas, store them at room temperature, ideally on a hook, or in an open fruit bowl, or to encourage airflow. If they ripen too swiftly, they can be peeled and frozen for later use in smoothies or baking, but should not be refrigerated. Having examined how simple mistakes in food storage can quietly diminish well-being, let us now turn to foods that require refrigeration for safety. 3 foods you must keep cold to avert serious health risks. 1. Cooked meats and leftovers. The satisfaction derived from a home-cooked meal extends well beyond culinary enjoyment. For many older adults, leftovers represent not only convenience, but also independence and economic savvy. However, this comfort can rapidly turn to threat if cooked food, particularly meats, are not promptly refrigerated. Contrary to popular belief, dangers do not disappear with cooking. Bacteria such as Listeria, Clostridium, perfringens, and Salmonella start to proliferate as soon as cooked foods begin to cool at room temperature. Seniors, with their diminished immune response and slower digestion, are particularly vulnerable. It takes merely 2 hours at room temperature for bacteria to reach unsafe levels, with no obvious signs such as changes in color or odor. In older adults, food poisoning may present not as stomach distress, but as confusion, slight fever, or dizziness. Symptoms easily mistaken for other health concerns. Left unchecked, these infections can exacerbate inflammation, worsen chronic conditions, and even become life-threatening. The necessary action is clear. Transfer leftovers to the refrigerator within 2 hours and store them in sealed containers and monitor their duration, ideally consuming within 3 to 4 days. Beyond that period, the health risks become unacceptably high. 2. Dairy products. There is a comfort to be found in dairy: a glass of milk, a slice of cheese, a spoonful of yogurt. That forms part of the daily routine for countless seniors. Yet, the reassuring texture and taste of dairy hides an important truth. Without refrigeration, these items quickly become hazardous. Dairy is nutrient-rich, making it an ideal environment for bacterial growth at inadequate temperatures. As people age, their gastric acidity decreases and immune resilience weakens, making divergent responses to bacterial contamination more severe. When dairy products are neglected out of the fridge, bacteria multiply unseen, occasionally without altering smell or taste. For seniors, ingesting spoiled dairy can result in digestive distress, additional inflammation, dehydration, persistent fatigue, or even lead to hospitalization. Thus, the advice is simple. Always refrigerate dairy items promptly after use. Maintain the fridge below 4 degrees. Store products in airtight containers and adhere to expiry dates. Taking these steps is essential for well-being. 3. Leafy greens. Leafy greens, while appearing delicate, are exceptional sources of nutrition, supporting everything from memory and bone strength to circulation and emotional health. Yet they are among the most perishable foods. Without refrigeration, they swiftly lose their benefits. Once harvested, greens begin to break down almost immediately. At room temperature, this process accelerates, resulting in wilting, nutrient loss, especially of folate, vitamin K, and lutein, and increased susceptibility to bacterial contamination, most notably from E. coli and Listeria. Spoilage is not always evident. A few damp spots or limp leaves may seem inconsequential, but dangerous pathogens can thrive in this hidden moisture. For an aging body, such infections can cause considerable harm. The best approach is to store leafy greens in the refrigerator's crisper drawer. loosely wrapped in paper towels to absorb excess moisture inside breathable bags or containers. The aim is not simply longer storage, but preservation of both nutritional value and safety. Making the fridge work for your health, the decisions you make regarding food storage are far from trivial. For seniors, these choices can influence digestive health, inflammation, immunity, and even the effectiveness of medications. Something as simple as keeping a banana on the counter or onions in a dry pantry can slowly fortify one's well-being, whereas a small oversight can have adverse effects. With age comes an increased sensitivity to the body's signals. Discomforts and ailments often reflect what and how we eat. A supportive kitchen does not require investment in expensive equipment or diets, but rather an understanding of which foods should and should not be refrigerated. Therefore, it is recommended to periodically reorganize your refrigerator and pantry, label and date leftovers, keep visible reminders of foods best left out of the fridge, and share this knowledge with family and friends. Such simple actions can protect not only your health, but also that of others. Mistakes in the kitchen are common, but it is never too late to adjust habits and take proactive steps toward better self-care. Your health and time are worth safeguarding. If you found these insights helpful, consider sharing them with someone you care about. You never know the difference it may make. Take a moment to reflect on what you have learned and how you might apply it in your own life. Let us continue to support each other in making informed choices that foster health and quality of life.